When I first started my Shopify store, reaching 10K a month was my goal. I became extremely obsessed. I watched every single YouTube video I could find on how to scale your Shopify store. I was trying to abstract every piece of valuable information that I could so I could turn my dream into a reality. And by the grace of God, I was able to achieve this goal. Now, what I think is cool is that I was able to do this without investing thousands of dollars into my Shopify store. I had zero viral posts, and I'm no celebrity. I have zero clout. I'm just a regular dude talking to a camera, which means you're more than capable of doing this too. So in this video, I'm gonna walk you through step by step the fastest path to reaching 10K a month so you don't make the same mistakes I did. And if you haven't already signed up for Shopify, I do have a free trial link, and I'll link it in the description down below, or it will be in the first pinned comment. Now, the first step to reaching 10K a month with your Shopify store is picking a winning product. Now, I know you probably heard this a million times by now, and so I hate to sound like a broken record, but trust me when I say the product you decide to sell is really gonna make the biggest difference on whether or not you're successful or not. So you may be wondering, okay, how do you pick a winning product and what classifies as a winning product in the first place? Well, I'm glad you asked, and I'm about to go over it right now. The first characteristic of picking a winning product is that it addresses a need or solves a problem, okay? And there are tons of products that do this. For example, if you need to cut your grass, you purchase a lawnmower. If you're trying to make smoothies, you purchase a blender. Now, obviously those products are, just standard products, but you want to be thinking of picking a product that solves some type of problem. And if it solves a problem, there's always a target audience for it. The second characteristic is picking a product that is in high demand and low competition, okay? Now, this is kind of hard to find. I know I gave before the example of the lawnmower and the blender, but even though those solve a problem, that is a highly saturated market. So you want to make sure that you're looking for products that have a high demand but isn't super competitive, okay? Now, this may take time, but this is a product that will ensure that you will see success for a good amount of time until other people enter into the market. The third characteristic that you wanna make sure that you have with your winning product is that it has decent profit margins, okay? If your margins are too thin, it's not gonna give you the ability to do things like paid advertising, and you're really not gonna make a lot of money up front if you don't have healthy profit margins, because there's a lot of costs that go into running a Shopify store. So if you're running on thin margins and you have to sell a lot of volume, starting out is not gonna be a good product for you. So the fourth characteristic of a winning product is that it can be easily and affordably sourced, okay? And so the worst thing that could happen is that you're making sales, but you can't actually get the product in hand, or if you're using some type of drop shipping company, they're not really reliable, right? And so you want to make sure that wherever you're getting the product from, you can continuously get that product and there's not any shipping issues and all this other stuff, because that's the worst case to be in, is to actually make sales, but then you can't actually get your product to your customer. The last characteristic of a winning product is that it is easy to market. You want to make sure that people just understand the benefits of this product. It's clear. You don't have to over communicate, the problem that it solves. And so this will just make it 10 times easier for you whenever you go to market with this product. So when it comes to picking a winning product, you want to make sure that your product hits almost every single one of these characteristics. And if it does, you're in a good spot, okay? Now, for me personally, I decided to go with clothing. Now, clothing is one of those things that it's really tricky to market if you're not really good at branding and marketing. And I wouldn't say clothing is the best winning product possible, because it doesn't really hit on every single one of these characteristics. But there is, intangible value that people see with clothing, and I knew how to market it. And there's value in designs. If you have a good design, they pretty much sell themselves. And I was able to corner the market because nobody else has the design. If they like it, they have to come to me. So that's one benefit of clothes. But I would say it's more of a commodity and not a need. So that's what makes clothing a toss-up. But that's just my winning product. But I just want to show you that your product doesn't have to hit necessarily every single one. But if you do get a product that hits every single one, you're more than likely going to see more success than a product that doesn't. The second step on your road to 10K a month is making sure that your Shopify store actually looks the part. The homepage of your website is the digital equivalent of looking at a storefront window. So you want to make sure that you put time and effort into making sure your Shopify store looks good. Now, I do want to say you want to spend the majority of your time on your product pages because the majority of people are going to go to your product pages, and this is where most conversions happen. Just like a physical store, people are going to come by your Shopify store. They're going to look through your product pages. They're going to check your product pages out. And if your product pages and your product looks good and it's enticing, they're going to buy from you. I heard an analogy the other day that I really liked and I want to share it with you. Compare your Shopify store to a grocery store. Grocery stores always put their best produce out front. It's colorful, it's tempting, and they practically scream, "Hey, please buy me now." Now picture this, the grocery store workers get busy one week and they leave last week's produce out front. The flies start having a party and this crazy aroma starts wafting through the store. Would you be shocked if no one came to buy fruit that week? And if that was your first time going to the store, would you have a good impression of it? Probably not, right? So if you have the money to invest in a website designer or a web developer, I strongly recommend it and encourage it. However, you don't necessarily need to do it out the gate because for me personally, I was able to reach 10K a month just by using free Shopify themes. I use the Dawn theme. It has worked really, really well for me. And there are plenty of tutorials to help you kind of spruce up the Dawn theme here on YouTube that you can check out. And for me personally, I don't have a lot of website design skills or anything like that. And these tutorials were very easy to follow and, execute on my own. Now, the last step to getting you to 10K a month is having some sort of marketing plan. If you have a really, really good product, if your website is dialed in, then the only thing you need to do is drive traffic to your Shopify store. Now, for me personally, the fastest way I got to 10K a month was from running paid Facebook ads. However, I did have a leg up in this department because I run paid ads for a living and I didn't have the learning curve that most brand new Shopify store owners have when it comes to running paid ads for their store. So when I first started running Facebook ads, I was spending around $20 a day. And then after 3 days, if I made my money back, then I would up the ad spend. And then I would rent and repeat until I got up to about $100 a day. Once I got to $100 a day, that's when my Shopify store was able to hit 10K a month. Now, this may be different for every store depending on your price point, but for me, about $100 a day is when I get to, about a 10K a month in sales, for my Shopify store. It's about a 3-to-1 ratio, essentially. Now, before you go down the paid ads route, though, I do recommend that you set up your email and SMS marketing first. This is honestly the backbone of every single Shopify store. Now, for me personally, I use OmniSend, and I have a full tutorial. If you want to check that out, I'll link it up here. On showing you how to set up email and SMS marketing for your Shopify store, but that's definitely where I would start first. And then from there, after you have your email and SMS marketing set up, I would really work on your organic marketing through social media content. TikTok, Instagram, YouTube Shorts are really, really good places to get a lot of eyeballs on your product and I would work on figuring out how your target audience reacts to your product first organically. Also, I would recommend that you stalk your competitors and look at their Instagram and TikTok pages and seeing what's working from them, and then use that content as inspiration for your own content marketing strategy. Also, another good strategy is that you reach out to influencers on TikTok or Instagram and then offer to give out your product for free in exchange for them to create, some UGC style content, okay? You want to get as much content as possible, and this is a really good way to do it, just doing a product gifting exchange. This way, if the content that the influencer makes is really good, you can use this content for your social media ads, or you can use this in your email marketing, or even use this content to put on your actual Shopify store website. At this point, the fastest way to reach 10K a month with your Shopify store. You need a good product with a good website and a good marketing strategy. And if you have all three of these things, I guarantee you will reach 10K a month with your Shopify store. It's just a matter of time, and it's all dependent on your work ethic and how much effort you put into your Shopify store. Now, make sure that you like and subscribe if you got value out of this video. And if you want to take your Shopify store beyond 10K a month, then I definitely recommend that you check out this video right here.